Good morning, everyone. Jane here with you on Thursday, December the 24th, the last day of Advent. Are you starting to feel the anticipation building as the hours draw closer to Christmas Eve? Today, I'm not going to delve into one of the daily readings. Instead, I want to invite you on a bit of a journey back in time to childhood. There'll be a little bit of show and tell, and a story about a stable. When I was 8 years old, my father came home one day in Advent with a present. It was this nativity scene, and this has been part of my Christmases ever since then. The stable itself is getting a bit rickety, but all the important characters in the story are still here. You can see Mary and Joseph and the baby Jesus. And here comes a shepherd with his lambs. And of course the animals are here too. They were the ones who shared their home and their warmth with the Holy Family. You can see the donkey at the back here, but my favorite is the ox. And the reason that the ox is my favorite is because instead of normal plaster or china, whatever this is, horns, his horns are made of coiled springs. And so you can do this, twang, twang. And that just delighted me as a kid. And I think it still does. I still do that every year when I set up the nativity scene. There are 3 wise men too, but as you know, it's not quite time for them yet in this story. For Christmas that year when I was 8, I also got this book as a Christmas present. It's called The Golden Book of Christmas Tales, Legends from Many Lands. Ian just helped me mend it. The covers were coming off. And I'd like to read you my favorite story from it. And the story is called The Talking Animals. I'll let you see the picture again when I finish reading. There was once a farmer who lit 2 candles, one for himself and one for the shepherd boy. In the gathering darkness, they hurried together to the stable to observe the Christmas Eve custom of lighting the animals to the stable. First, they held their flickering candles for a moment in the corners of every stall. Then each stood at one side of the doorway while the animals were herded in. The candles were snuffed out, and a double portion of food was set before the beasts, for it was also the custom that the animals should be especially well treated on the eve of Christ's birth. Had they not graciously shared their humble shelter with him on the first Christmas? The farmer and the boy left the stable and went to the nearby farmhouse where preparations for the Christmas festival were being made. As the hour of midnight drew near, the farmer and his family dressed warmly in their cloaks. Then they journeyed through the new-fallen snow to the great cathedral to celebrate midnight mass. In the stable, the well-fed beasts drowsed contentedly until at midnight they were roused by the joyful pealing of the cathedral bells. At once there was a stirring and a bustling in all the stalls. Flying up to a high perch, the cock stretched out its neck and loudly crowed, "Christ is born!" "When?" croaked the raven harshly, and it flapped its black wings. "This night," cawed the rook. "Where?" asked the ox. "Bethlehem," bleated the sheep. "Let us go," brayed the donkey. And with a buzzing of wings, the bees flew out of the stable in a great swarm, singing a carol as they went. Thus, While in the church their masters sang praises to the newborn King of Kings, so also did the beasts in the stable. Some of the cattle stood up in their stalls out of reverence, and others knelt in devotion. And it is said, too, that on this miraculous night, the animals speak among themselves of many things, and even foretell the happenings of the coming year. And so, if you look at the picture, there's the cock and the raven and the rook, and you can see all the other animals. And here in the distance is the beehive, and here come the bees, all flying through the stable and out into the frosty air, singing their carol. So I love that story, and the thought that just maybe the animals speak on Christmas Eve. Now, of course, this story of the talking animals is a legend, and the really important story for Christmas Eve is the one that takes place in the stable in Bethlehem. But if you think about it, my folklore story is only possible because of the real story of Jesus' birth that inspired it. So in this strangely different Christmas of 2020, I hope we can find comfort in imagining that long ago stable in Bethlehem, warmed with the breath of the friendly animals. Mary and Joseph are there, tired from the journey and the birth, but beaming with delight at the newborn Jesus. God's love for all of humanity is there, radiating to shepherds and on to us through all the years since then. Please pray with me. Loving God, as we remember the birth of Jesus this Christmas Eve, may we be filled again with the joy and wonder that this story first taught us in childhood. And may we go on to be bearers of your love and the good news of Jesus to our world. Amen. Merry Christmas tomorrow, everyone. Please stay safe over the holidays, and I look forward to sharing more good news with you in the new year. Bye for now.